Hey, Coach Sean here, and I'm so excited you're watching this first video where I dig into specifics behind how to structure your meals to win, whether we're talking about improving health, stabilizing your energy, reducing body fat, recovering from your workouts, right? I want to share with you an idea of how you want to look at your meals, all right? And this is going to change the way you eat, more importantly, because that's really what we're here for, is a real change. So now, starting today, you're actually going to be looking at food, not as a meal, but as far as categories of food. So we'll dive specifics into meals later, and also prepping your food, other things like that, which you'll see in the next few videos. But for the next few minutes, I want to talk about just how we categorize our food. So first and foremost, we have our protein category. In our protein category, we're going to have chicken, fish, beef. You could put eggs in there as well, game animals, and those are going to be your primary protein sources. You can have whey protein, for example, basically a protein supplement. I'm not going to personally recommend that. I prefer whole foods over supplements. And then also would be some dairy. I'm not a big dairy fan, so I'm not going to personally endorse it. But even like non-fat, plain non-fat Greek yogurt would be another option. I think I mentioned eggs already. So those are going to be your primary protein sources, okay? You're going to see that as you go through my meal planning system. The second thing is going to be your carbohydrates. When I say carbohydrates, I mean higher quality and possibly higher fibrous, right? So starches, quality starch, carbohydrates. So this is going to come down to your potatoes, okay? Predominantly sweet potatoes have the highest amount of nutrients more often, okay? Another option would be your legumes, okay? So any sort of beans, garbanzo beans, black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, you name it. And then we would also want to look at rice, okay? Ideally, brown rice is going to digest a little bit more in our favor than white rice. And also healthy grains, quinoa, barley, buckwheat, quality carbohydrates that are highly fibrous like that, versus vegetables, which is our last category. And we all know that no one ever became less healthy or gained a ton of body fat from eating more vegetables, all right? So vegetables would be our next category. That's actually a carbohydrate. Fruit I actually did not list on here, but fruit would be another carbohydrate category. 1 to 2 servings per day is what I'm going to personally recommend. All right. All veggies, by the way, are fair game, especially Brussels sprouts. All right. And then last but not least, we're going to look at fats in the category of coconut-based products, olive-based products, avocado-based products, guacamole, for example, and then, of course, nuts and seeds is a healthy fat category. Now, keep in mind that nuts and seeds bleed across all 3 of our primary macronutrients, but really we're going to categorize it as a fat if we label it. And this will make sense now that you watch this video and how I explained in the simple nutrition system how we want to look at our plates. So, for example, if this is plate of food, okay, we want to look at it typically, not always, but typically in thirds is a really bad version of it, but I think you get the idea. And what I want to see here is our protein is 1/3, our veggies is 1/3, and then either our carbs, starch carbs, not vegetables, or our healthy fats, depending on the meal. We'll talk more about this later when we talk about blood sugar and optimizing for fueling our body, tapping into fat stores, things like that. But really, we want to look at it as this. We're either always going to have primary protein, vegetables, and either carbohydrate or a healthy fat on our plate. And that's how we want to structure our meals. It'll make more sense, but this gives you an idea of when you're shopping and when you're planning to shop for your meals and you're asking yourself, what the heck I'm going to have as a quick snack on the go or a full-on meal? How do I look at this thing, all right? And you always start with your protein dish. You add some veggies, and then you're either adding carbohydrates like a starch carb or a healthy fat. And that can be mixed in with your protein as well. But that is video 1. Look for our next video where I talk about the specifics around when you want to meal prep and how to win when you're on the go in between meals.